What's up, guys? We're back out in the shop and we're going to show you what we got going on tonight. So we had a customer contact us and want to know if we could weld a roll cage out for them. So after talking to the customer and asking him a few hundred questions, I was able to understand that he has a roll cage that comes in a kit. He wants us to just fit it up and weld it out. I'll show you guys what we got going here. This is a 1991 Chevy Blazer. The guy is doing a full restoration on it. It's actually in very clean condition. So it's pretty much gutted inside. But he wants a roll cage in it because he's got two little kids that are going to be riding in the back and he wants them to be safe. So here's the roll cage. It's already pre-bent. It just needs to be fit up and welded out. It comes with these base plates. And so they fit just like so, and the pipe drops over the top of this. That helps you get them pretty much centered up, and then we'll weld them to this, and then they will actually bolt to the bottom of the truck. There's all the hardware. Originally he wanted me to go ahead and bolt it up, but he since changed his mind and texted me that he would rather do that, which is perfect because I would rather he do that. We're just going to set it in place. We'll get it all tacked up. We'll level it out. And then he also wants us to add a piece of DOM in the back from drop leg to drop leg for added support. And he also wants some gussets welded in the corners to strengthen it up. So we'll be burning some gussets on the table and adding those on it as well. We're just going to go ahead and get the main frame tacked up. And then we're going to have to pull the roof off and lift the cage out, set it out here on the floor so that I don't burn up his nice Blazer. And then we'll weld it out, get the gussets added. I don't particularly like working on somebody's extremely nice vehicle. So we're gonna have to use the drop cloth and some cardboard and stuff like that to try to keep from burning the headliner and the side panels and stuff like that. So tacking it's gonna be a little bit tedious, but once we get it all tacked up, we can fly it out of there, set it on the ground, move the vehicle out, weld it out, get it all done, and then we can set it back in, put the roof back on, and then he can have it and he can mount it. That's the plan. So the first thing is going to be to just roll the welder over here. We're going to get some of this stuff out of the way. I've got to unbolt this seat. He's got a subwoofer back here I'm going to move. I'm just going to get anything that could be in my way or that I don't want to burn, get it out of there, and that'll give us as much room as possible so that we can get the first arch set up and start tacking it up. We'll get all set up and we'll go to that point. Alright guys, so we're just going to get after it on this one. The good news is the only welding we're going to have to do inside here is just to tack it up. We're going to start with this front section, try to get it fit up and setting on the base plates and leveled up and tacked in place. Then we'll do the back one. Once we get the back one tacked up, we'll tie them in with the bars that come across. So that's the plan. So we're just going to go ahead and start fitting this up and see where we get. Luckily he left us this drop cloth, so we're going to use that to try to protect the vehicle from any sort of sparks or burns. We've got some sections of cardboard cut so that we can stick it between the roof and the piping. So we're just going to try to do our due diligence to protect the vehicle the best we can. So let's see what we can't get done. Alright guys, we're back out here tonight and I want to give you guys a quick update on what is going on. So we don't have enough room to set this up with the shell on, so we've got to take it off. The first issue I ran into last night was these screws are a security screw. So it's basically a Torx with the dimple in the middle, and I didn't have those bits. So I thought, well, I'll run up to Harbor Freight and see if they've got one. I asked a few buddies here in town, and one guy had them, but he wasn't home. Anyway, I ended up going up to Harbor Freight, and I picked up a set. So we're going to be able to get those taken off, and then we'll lift it off with the crane, set it off to the side. Then we'll be able to start fitting the cage. Once we get the top off, we'll be able to start fitting the cage, but it was too tight in there, and I don't want to go roughing things up. So we'll take the top off, and we'll go ahead and start fitting the cage. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, hop up in there, and see if I can't get these screws taken out. What? We got the inspector out here. He's playing with some tools, getting some man time in, huh? Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah. What you got? Show him what you got. Oh, what's the other one? Found some goodies. All right, so we'll hop up in there and see if we can't get these screws taken out, and we'll go from there.
It's time for today's super cool tool.
Alright, so for today's super cool tool, we're going to be talking about this bit set. Now, for this project, we had to have a very specific type of bit for this project. I've always heard them referred to as a security bit. It's just a Torx bit with the dimple in it. So I needed a set that had that in it. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to run up to Harbor Freight and see what they have. I actually knew that they carried a security bit set. I burned up there, and when I got there, they had 3 different options to buy. The first one was a smaller set that had quite a few bits in it. It did have the bit we needed, but it was $5.99, and it came in a little teeny carrier but was open on the top. The next option was a large set for $7.99, and it had pretty much every bit you could ever think of on there. The third option, which is the option that I opted for, was this Icon set. Now, if you guys don't know about Icon is like the flagship tool for Harbor Freight. That's kind of the top shelf stuff, highest quality, whatever you want to call it. And I actually have quite a few tools in the shop here that are Icon tools, and I've been very impressed with them. I haven't had any warranty issues with them. I've never had one break on me yet, but if they do, they are lifetime warranty, and they'll swap them out for you right there. Or if they don't have one in the store, they'll order it and ship it to your house. So I do like that. And I also like that you don't spend as much for an Icon tool as you would like a snap-on tool. So the set that we found at Harbor Freight that we went with was this Icon set. So it comes in this nice case. It's got kind of a rubber finish on the outside. It does lock shut. So when you open it, it does have pretty much every bit you can think of. The only one I don't see in here is like the square bits. So the cool thing about this set is it comes with this little ratchet. And this little ratchet, you can take the bit that you need, and it actually slides in and it turns it into a little ratchet. And if you listen to the teeth on this, it's got a lot of teeth, and they actually sound very high quality. So I've been very impressed with that. The other cool thing is it has a button on the back here, and when you push that button down, it'll lock the head in like 10 or 15 degree increments. Another cool thing that it does is it comes with this little adapter here, where it goes from hex to a 1/4 inch drive. So if I snap that in there, Now I can use any 1/4-inch drive socket with this little ratchet. But wait, there's more. The other cool thing it can do, the other attachment that it comes with in the case here, if I pop that out, and I actually just barely noticed this, the end of the ratchet has a female hex fitting there. You can take this and it snaps in there, it's magnetic, and that turns it into an even longer ratchet so you get better leverage. This is also a drill adapter, so you can stick this in your drill and then you can put the bit in there. And I think it's something that we're going to use a lot here in the shop. You guys check them out. Even if you don't decide to go with the icon set, I would recommend getting a nice bit set for your bit driver. This definitely made our super cool tool list, so go ahead and get you one. This definitely made our super cool tool list, so run out and get you a bit driver set. It's going to make you more versatile in the shop. It's another one of those mechanics tools that you probably don't think you're going to need as a fabricator, but as you can see, you do run into those situations. So get you a set. That's going to wrap it up for the super cool tool segment. Let's get back to the project. Alright, so I got all the screws out. We're ready to pick the shell off. So I'm going to start getting this rigged up, see how that goes, and see if we can't get it picked off of there. Alright guys, we got it off. I wasn't able to video it. I just wanted to get it off safely and set it off to the side without scratching it. I really don't like working on stuff like this, to be honest. It stresses me out, and I'm going to say no on the next one. This is one of those things about having a business where you have to learn what to say no to. And I know there's a lot of you that probably think, well, you should say yes to everything. Not necessarily. If it's not worth your time, and if you're stressed out about damaging the vehicle, you know, there's certain shops that this is all they do is vehicles and stuff like this, and that's great. I think it's great if you can pick an avenue and you just go with it, and that's what you stick to. I think that's great. They know little tricks for working on vehicles like this, and that's great. But for me, I'm a fabrication shop. My job is to fabricate things, to weld things, to fit things. And I don't like pissing around with having to pull things off and take interiors out and deal with all that crap so that I can do my job, which is fabricate, fit, and weld. So I'm at the point with my business that I can start saying no to the things that I don't want to do, and sometimes the risk isn't worth the reward. And I would say that with this one, I don't necessarily feel like the risk is worth the reward. Because if you damage something and you have a pissed off customer, who knows how that's going to go. So I am going to do it. I'm going to do the very best I can to not scratch or hurt anything, burn anything, and I'm going to be a nervous wreck doing it. I've already committed to doing it, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do a good job, but I will say no to this kind of stuff from now on. So I'm just trying to tell you guys how I see it. There are certain things that you should just say no to. And if it's something that you don't enjoy doing, then probably don't do it. Because part of the reason you want to own your own business is because you enjoy what you do, you're good at it, and you should stick with that. Stick with things that make you happy and that you're good at. And the rest of things like this that are just going to frustrate you and stress you out, you're better off to just do the curb with that stuff. So now we're going to go ahead and start trying to get this fit up. I'm hoping that things go fairly quick now. I've got to get some cardboard set up, and we're going to start tacking that first arch and see if we can't get it tacked into place, and then we'll just see how far we get. But my goal is to try to get at least something tacked together on this. So let's see what we can do. Alright guys, so we're going to give you an update of what's going on here. So if you look on the table here, we got the cage all fit up, all tacked up. We've added gussets. He wanted gussets throughout the whole thing. Went ahead and burned those on the table. I was not able to show the process of fitting this up because I'm getting slammed right now, and I currently have 6 projects that I need to try to have done by early next week. So I've got to get this one done. So sometimes, to be honest, I've just got to shut the camera off, turn music on, and go to work. And so that's what I had to do with this one to try to hurry up and get it done. So we're ready to weld it out. We'll get some video of that. And then once this is welded out and cooled off, he wants to clean it himself. I don't know if he's going to paint it or what he's going to do, but it's got tape goo all over it from shipping. But we're going to weld it out. We'll let it cool, and then we're going to put it back in the truck, and then we've got to set the shell back on it and put all the screws in, and then he can come get it. But right now we're going to see if we can't get this welded out. Alright guys, we are out in the shop today, and as you can tell, I've got the gumbo, so we're going to have Bridger tell you what we're doing today.
So we have a lot of projects going on right now, so we're going to show you a little bit of each project. So this is a grease pin. This is the pulley that the pin will go inside. And we're going to be TIG brazing this around right here. And then we're welding 2 20-foot pieces of aluminum pipe for sprinklers. So we just finished putting the roll cage in the blazer. And here's the rest of the sprinkler pipe. And we're gonna piece them together and make 2 20-footers.
So we got a lot going. There's 2 or 3 other projects I'm in the process of getting quotes for as well. So that's what we got going. We're going to get after it. One other thing I would mention is this pin and that pulley. We've done these before. There's a video about me machining this same pin. So we're just going to build another one. There's no sense in you guys watching that again. The pulley, I will get you guys some more video of that because I didn't record that part on the last one. When I go to TIG braze the bushing into the pulley, I will get some footage of that and show you guys how I do it. So we're going to get after this. So apologize, it's kind of noisy with the welder. We've got the pipe squared off. I've taken my little Milwaukee die grinder with a Scotch-Brite attachment, cleaned up the aluminum. I'm butting the pipe up tight. So I butted the pipe up tight. I'm not gapping it, I'm not beveling it. And then I'm going to run a bead around it. I'm using my fancy little vice grip pipe clamp thing here, made by Strong Hand Tools, to help me get this tacked up. So this is really thin material, so we'll see how this goes. So, just like usual, it's extremely dirty aluminum. It's usually how all irrigation pipe is. Okay, now go turn it again. Okay. Alright, so we got our pulley here on the table. We've cleaned the grease off it the best we can. We've wiped it down with acetone. And it's really marred up on the face of this where we're gonna have to weld. So I'm gonna take a grinder and I'm gonna clean this up. Now I want to show you guys something. This is the bushing that he wants brazed in, okay? Now look at how much slop is in this. So that's pretty bad. So I called him up and I told him the right way to fix it would be to throw this in the lathe, machine this weld out, smack the steel bushing out, get a new piece of steel, machine this bushing to the correct OD of this, or chuck this in the lathe, touch up the inside, and then get a piece of brass and machine it to the ID of this. I told him that was the two options to do it right. He informed me that he's actually got a bit down in the hole and he just needs to get it out. So he informed me, he said, just weld it out the way it is. I know it's not right, but I've just got to get the bit out of the hole. So we're going to clean this up the best we can, make it clean. We are going to center it up the best we can, and then we're going to TIG braze it on, and we're going to use silicon bronze. So this is our silicon bronze rod. Last time I did this, I didn't have silicon bronze, but I had some brazing rod. So what I did is I took the brazing rod and I beat the flux off of it, and I used that. That worked fine. So we're gonna give this silicon bronze a try. This is actually my first whack at trying silicon bronze, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so we're gonna clean this up and then we'll be ready to start fitting this bushing. Okay, you see how clean we got that? The inside's kind of jacked up, but we're just gonna get it the best we can. So we're gonna start with this side. So we got our pulley shimmed up off the table, 1/8 of an inch. Here we go. I'm going to tack this side too because I don't want it moving or warping one way or the other. I think that turned out pretty well. And I was trying to force it down into that gap as much as I could. So we'll roll it over and we'll get this side done now. There is an episode on YouTube where I machined 2 of these. It does have a grease zerk in it, and there's a grease channel that's connected to all these holes. And that's still hot. We got our bushing all TIG welded in, so I think we're good. We had a lot to do today. 5 jobs to complete. We started at 8 a.m. and it's now 4 o'clock right on the dot. So this video is gonna be a combination of a lot of projects, kind of jumping around. I apologize for that if that's not what you like to see, but sometimes we've got to buckle down and get the stuff out the door. So hopefully you guys saw some stuff you enjoyed that'll help you, and we appreciate you guys watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you on the next one. Alright guys, so just wanted to share something with you guys real quick. This is a package I've actually received in the mail from a viewer. It's really hard for me to believe that somebody would want to send me something in the mail just because of my YouTube channel, but so we're gonna go ahead and open it up, show you guys what we got. Looks like a pair of Revolution gloves, and they actually look like they're pretty nice gloves. Awesome. We'll use those. Oh, sweet. These are arm protectors for when you're welding. Those will definitely come in handy when you're stick welding. Oh, sweet. And then a cup. And he's got his own welding business going on. So if you guys are in the Las Vegas area, check them out. J&J Fabrication. So that's really cool. Looks like a couple silver pencils. Those will definitely come in handy. Oh, sweet. And a sharpener. And then he did send a t-shirt. J&J Fabrication. Hopefully the guy's okay with me saying his name on the channel, but his name is John Horsley. And like I said, he runs a fab business in Las Vegas, so if you're in that area and you need some fabrication work done, get a hold of John. So thank you, John. We appreciate it. Definitely going to put this stuff to use. This was very nice of him. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to... Stick with things that make you happy and things that you're good at. Stick with things that make you happy and a bushing that we have to take braze in.
Okay.
So just start with that.
Okay.
This is actually